This morning we continue our Pushing the Limits series with what is called the hardest race in America. If you think running a marathon is a feat in itself, imagine doing an ultra marathon up a mountain. At the Rut Mountain Race in Big Sky, Montana, nearly 400 athletes from around the world gathered to compete across 31 miles. They cover more than 10,000 feet of elevation. The sport is known as skyrunning.
No thanks.
I run in the mountains because it gives me a freedom that I can't feel anywhere else. I'm Luke Nelson, I'm 34 years old, and I'm a professional mountain runner.
Skyrunning is basically really high alpine mountain running.
There's generally a lot more elevation gain and loss, and the races are a lot more technical.
You go up and down a mountain if you just run on mountains. Skyrunning is not hard for me because this is what I do. I have been running outside in nature in mountains for like my whole life. So for me it's not hard. I'm Emil Forsberg from Sweden and I'm a European and world champion in long distance skyrunning.
Jesus! It's pretty gnarly and pretty brutal, but it's a lot of fun. It's pretty phenomenal sport and pretty exciting. I'm Max King from Bend, Oregon, and I am the world 100K champion.
Skyrunners must be able to compete at altitudes of up to 15,000 feet.
Skyrunning started in the European Alps in the early 90s. Initially, the aim was to see what people could do at altitude and see how they could push themselves. We try and get as close to that as we can. I'm Ian Sharman and I'm the director of the US Skyrunner series. At the Rut here in Big Sky, we go to the top of Lone Peak at 11,000 feet.
We are less than 3 minutes away.
Starts of races are tough, particularly the few minutes leading up to it. You've done months of preparation and there's all the competition is there.
10 seconds.
Really, I just want that moment and to start running.
We have some of the best mountain runners in the world today competing, and it's been really inspiring to watch them compete.
Let's go!
My name's Mike Foote. I am the race director of the Rut Mountain Runs, and I am also an ultra-marathon mountain runner.
Good job,
We're here at the mile 19 aid station.
Doing great.
This is one of the biggest aid stations on the course as far as refueling.
I ate too much.
They've got the biggest climb of the day right in front of them. Everybody's just power hiking straight to the highest point at 11,200 feet.
To hike the 50K, the 31 miles here, would probably take the average person more than a day. And these people are doing it in about 5.5 hours.
I'm gonna gain 10,000 feet of elevation. I'm definitely pushing to my limits every one of these races that I do.
For me, the hardest part is up, actually. That's so fascinating to see the limits where you can go. Like, it's so interesting to push yourself.
The hardest factors of a race like this are probably the downhills.
Think about running down, standing on football-sized rocks. Hundreds of thousands of them, and you're trying to find foot placement and move quickly.
Yeah, Emily.
I'm a pretty comfortable downhiller in technical. I can go pretty fast and smooth. For me, it's like for people running on road, I guess.
Mountain running is probably one of the hardest things that you can do to your body.
We're, gosh, a little over 7 hours into the race, so people are getting tired, obviously. They've been in the heat, they've been in the cold, they've been in the wind.
I'm from Costa Rica, and I've been frozen all day.
I think that the human body was meant to run, but this is pushing it.
The face of misery. You hit that limit, and you just have to learn how to push through that.
I think in our modern society, we don't push ourselves. We go to our cubicles and we do our thing, and then we go home and we complain about doing our thing. Running gives us a chance to push that.
Yeah, I'm just so lucky to run in the mountains.
This is your 2015.
And to be able to do it full time because it's something bigger than just racing against people.
Is that Luke Nelson out there?
I am a professional runner, but I also have a regular job and I have a family.
Yeah, Luke!
So I spend a lot of time running and a lot of time trying to figure out how to spend time with my family. Almost always I get teary-eyed when I see my kids at the finish line.
Hey!
They're a huge support for me. I have people ask me, well, I run a 5K and you do this, so what I do must not be as impressive. And I think that that's something that's lost in translation, is it's a personal challenge. And that might be a half marathon for you, or it might be walking around the block. But taking and pushing your own boundaries is what it's all about.
Not easy anyway, but going uphill over rocks in thin air.
Yeah, but I like what he said about, which is why we've done this series. This is about pushing boundaries, whether it's personal fitness or science or technology. That's what we're trying to enlarge in people's minds here on this show.
And I'm going to cheer you both on. We'll be right back.